In Malaysia, bullying has become an issue and is given serious attention by the government. Ministry of Education Malaysia in 2009, Datuk Seri Hishamuddin Hussein stated that the government will not compromise under any circumstances whatsoever in relation to the cases of bullying involving school students in the country. In fact, since 2002, he has set up a special committee to address the issue of bullying among the students at the level of the Ministry of Education Malaysia. In 2004, he also expressed his concern over this phenomena while he officiating the anti-bullying poster launching ceremony at Victoria National School in Kuala Lumpur. He stated that he need help and cooperation as well as the expertise from all parties to help to combat the symptom of bullying among the students in Malaysia. In 2016, Datuk Seri Mahathir Khalid state that the Ministry of Education has taken firm measures so that the cases of bullying and gangsterism among the students do not recur. Now, the problem of bullying in Malaysia show a decrease. Although the issue of bullying has long plugged in the country, it has not received serious attention. However, the incident that happened to two teenage boys who were bullied to death in 2017 become the starting point of bullying cases to get attention of the people in this country. The two victims, the student of Universiti Pertahanan Malaysia UPNM, Marine Cadet Officer Zulfarhan Osman Zulkarnain and T. Neven, died after being bullied excessively. Both cases has received extensive media coverage during that year. Actually, the statistic of bullying cases happen in Malaysia is quite worrying. Based on the study and the statistic revealed by the Musa Jilid in 2017 regarding the incident of bullying among students at age between 13 to 14 years old, as you can see in the slide, Malaysia is ranked 7th highest out of 53 countries that participate in the study. And most of the researchers agree that bullying is one form of violent crime. And according to Noran in his study, he found that 95.8% of secondary school students and 82.7% of primary school students were victims of verbal bullying in the country. As for physical bullying, 65.3% of secondary school students became victims, compared to 56% of primary school students. Even in the era of modernity, we often hear the cases of bullying still happening in our society. And do we know what bullying means? According to Rigby in 1996, she defines bullying as a domination behavior which is recurrent psychologically or physically from a person or a more powerful group to someone less powerful. Bullying should not be defined as a conflict between two people who has comparable and balanced power. The balance this is mean in terms of physical strength, the ability to master in terms of conversation, or in terms of isolating a person from group. While Aziz Yahya, Jamaluddin Ramli, Abdul Latif and Zurhana Muhammad in 2007, they state that bullying is an act of harassing the weak with the aim of showing strength respectively. Amin Al-Hadi in 2013 concludes, bullying is a violent behavior that brings profound negative effect to vulnerable victims and not the same influence or power as the bully. While our former Minister of Religion, Dr. Zulkifli Al-Bakri, in 2016, when he commenting on bullying according to Islam, he is of the view that bullying is a thing that contradicts to the teaching of Islam, which mean guard and maintain, which mean karamah insaniyah or kemuliaan insan, based on Allah Subhanahu wa Taala said in the Quran, وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ in Surah Al-Isra verse 70, and the meaning is, and verily we have honored the son of Adam. As you can see in the slide, the total number of bullying cases happened in Malaysia from 2008 until 2017 is 27,129.
So now, my fellow friends, let's move to type of bullies that we will discuss in this presentation. There are two types of bullies that we want to present to you, to all of you. The first is direct bullying, and second is indirect bullying. Which is, in the direct bullying, there are two types of bully, which are physical bullying and also verbal bullying. So let's dig deeper into this topic. Let's go.
Direct bullying is an open attack that can be physical and verbal. Direct bullying occurs directly between the bully and the target victim. There are two types of bullying, physical and verbal. Physical bullying involves hurting a person's body or possession. There are four types of physical bullying. First, oppression. The exercise of authority or power in cruel or unjust manner is called oppression. Various kinds of oppression include insulting, degrading, abusing or imprisoning a person, also accusing a person falsely or hurting a person physically. Second, fighting. Using physical force to try to defeat another person or a group of people. Third, threatening with a weapon. Pointing a piece of iron such as dragon, knife, sword or a gun at a person, even in fun, has the effect of creating distress and fear. It also puts the person in danger, so it is forbidden for a Muslim to frighten another person or put him at risk. Fourth, intimidation. Intimidation is an act of threatening someone else and frightening that person enough to make him or her do what the bully wants. Verbal bullying. Verbal bullying is when someone who is bullied uses insulting or demeaning language to mock, embrace, or insult another person. Verbal bullying includes name-calling, abusing, dishonoring, cursing, mocking, taunting, teasing, and verbal threat. Verbal bullying is divided by 7. First, dishonoring. Dishonoring is bring shame or disgrace on. Second, cursing. Cursing is involved or use a curse against to someone. Third, mocking. Mimicking by action or gesture is more obvious than verbal mocking because it contains more intense scorn. Aggressive body language is also medium of mocking. Next, taunting. Taunting is to provoke someone with insulting remarks or reproach someone in a contemptuous way. Fifth, misconduct. To behave in an improper, immoral, or unlawful manner is called misconduct. 6. Obscenity. Obscenity originates from viciousness and ignobility. It is either motivated by the intention of hurting others or is a practice acquired from socializing with evil and immoral people who are accustomed to insulting others. Next, taunting. Taunting is to provoke someone with insulting remarks or reproach someone in a contemptuous way. Fifth, misconduct. To behave in an improper, immoral, or unlawful manner is called misconduct. 6. Obscenity. Obscenity originates from viciousness and ignobility. It is either motivated by the intention of hurting others or is a practice acquired from socializing with evil and immoral people who are accustomed to insulting others. And lastly, reminding others of one's favors for them is usually done by a niggard and conceited person. The niggard always. And lastly, reminding others of one's favors. Reminding others of one's favors for them is usually done by a niggard and conceited person. The niggard always feels that what he gives is a gift even it is something meager. Also, the considerate person tends to magnify himself and feels that he is doing others a great mercy by giving to them.
The other type of bullying is indirect bullying. Indirect bullying means that the behavior that are not directly communicated to the targeted person. It also resulted in someone's reputation being affected and social order being manipulated. Usually, this type of bully is less obvious and commonly happen to women. Indirect bullying consists of, first, social alienation, which is the act of estrangement, division, or distancing people from each other. Second, character assassination, which is accusation of falsely charged and innocent people. Third, backbiting. Backbiting is mentioning what someone dislikes if it is conveyed to him behind his back. Fourth is tale-bearing. Tale-bearing is also called as namimah in Arabic. It means that the act of conveying tale from one person to another. Fifth, spying. Spying is the act of a person that started from thinking back about another person, then he tried to confirm about his bad thought by spying on him. 6. Secret conversation. Secret conversation is included in indirect bullying when a person is removed from a group purposely. 7. Envy. Envy is also known as hasad. It refers to a person feeling or desire that want to disrupt someone else's happiness. 8. Grudge. Grudge is a resentment that resulted from past injury. 9. Hate. Hate is a feeling of dislike towards someone. And 10. Suspicious. Suspicious is always putting a bad thought about someone else.
Before we go to the solution of bullying issue from the roles of parents and teachers, let us see how Rasulullah deals with the problem of bullying. Rasulullah SAW is a patient, forgiving, and a person who always made a strong connection with Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Rasulullah did not easily take revenge, even though he was treated with various painful acts. In fact, Rasulullah SAW still prays for them to be given the forgiveness of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. The good moral shown by the Rasulullah SAW should be emulated when we face a situation of bullying. In addition, we can tell those who are bullying to stop and walk away without lowering ourselves to their level. Next, what is the role of parents and teachers to overcome the problem of bullying among students? Firstly, as parents, they should educate the family by showing good morals from the beginning for the formation of children's behavior. Families are the first environment that can affect children. Most of those involved in bullying do not have strong family ties and come from families that do not care about religious education. As parents, they should control what children watch so that they do not follow the bad attitudes shown on television. Parents are also advised to educate their children without using excessive force, but are advised to show the attitude of mutual love and respect. Secondly, parents and teachers should strive to preserve students' minds and souls. This can be done in developing positive behaviors using cognitive methods to help students overcome irrational thoughts and attitudes by replacing them with good attitudes. Third, the children must be educated in accordance with the principles of justice. The concept of justice encompasses every area of life, including individual justice and social justice. Several psychological studies have shown that most psychological and social disorders of children are due to a sense of abuse and a lack of justice. One of the ways to prevent bullying is to give equal rights to students so that the problem of bullying between students can be avoided. Lastly, include religious and moral subjects in the student learning syllabus. The authorities can work together to include Islamic and moral education in the syllabus of student learning and activities. Teachers and educators must strive to train the student to be a good person. The curricula should also include how to respect the right of others and the prohibition of harming and attacking others.
Bullying occurs in many different forms: physical, verbal, mental, and cyber. Some of the reasons reported most often by students include physical appearance, race or ethnicity, disability, and religion. Bullying left a very deep wound and trauma to the victims. Some of the victims even come to the extent of committing suicide due to constant bullying. My brothers and sisters, remember that Prophet Muhammad SAW said, "Al-Muslimu man salima al-Muslimuna min lisanihi wa yadihi." The Muslim is one from whose tongue and hands other Muslims are safe. This hadith reminds us as Muslim not to hurt others by any means. Bullying indeed is one of the acts that hurting others more than we know. Not committing bullying is one thing. Helping to prevent the issue is another thing. We must work hand in hand to solve this issue. The Youth Voice Research Project in 2010 found out that 57% of the instances where bullying was taking place stopped when bystanders intervened. This shows us how powerful our teachings about enjoining what is good, al-amru bil ma'ruf, and forbidding what is wrong, an-nahy anil munkar, are when put into practice. Allah said in Surah Ali Imran, verse 104, A'udzubillahi minasyaitanir rajim, وَلْتَكُمْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةٌ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ وَيَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. Let there be a group among you who will invite others to do good deeds, command them to obey the law, and prohibit them from committing sins. These people will have eternal happiness. Sadaqallahul Azim. Therefore, we should strive to help stop bullying and injustice when we are able to. Another way to support is to let those who are being bullied know that we are there for them. Last but not least, in Surah Al-Hujurat, Allah commands us not to commit any act of ridiculing another people. A'udzubillahi minasyaitanir rajim. Ya ayyuhalladzina amanu la yaskhar qaumun min qaumin asa an yakunu khairan minhum wala nisa'an min nisa'in asa an yakunna khairan minhun wala talmizu anfusakum wala tanabazu bil alqab bi'sal ismul fusuq ba'da al iman wa man lam yatub fa ulaika humuz zalimun. Sadaqallahul azim. O you who have believed, let not a people ridicule another people. Perhaps they may be better than them. Nor let a woman ridicule other woman. Perhaps they may be better than them. And do not insult one another, and do not call each other by offensive nicknames. Wretched is the name of disobedience after one's faith, and whoever does not repent, then is those who are the wrongdoers. So, to my fellow classmates, that's all from us this evening. Thank you for spending and lending your time to us. I end with Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.